Hello and welcome. As you know, my lyric book, Sticks and Stones, is on the way. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to talk to you guys about some of the songs that you're going to be reading about and to give you a little bit of explanation and a bit of the story behind some of them. So I thought I'd start right back at the beginning, and I guess the first song that really broke through for Little Angels was 90 in the Shade. It was one of those songs that kind of evolved quite quickly. I think we were being sort of courted by quite a few people, management and interesting record labels, that sort of thing. And what that tends to do when you get that level of interest, especially I think because we were in that moment, you know, there was a lot of rock on the radio. I guess this would have been about 1980, late 87, early 88. We were, really inspired and excited by the possibilities of it all. And it seemed that a band like us could possibly get a record deal because of what was going on around us, like I say, on the radio and in the magazines. There seemed to be sort of, which there was, a big interest in rock and roll, guitar rock. So we set about this whole plan of, I guess, just, pushing as hard as we could with our songwriting to become one of those bands, that could get a record deal. And so we were very inspired. I remember we wrote a lot of songs around that period. And we were in and out of studios through that period, leading up to getting our record deal in 1988 rather. Essentially, we were demoing for record labels, and we'd spent a long time demoing songs like No Solution and Big Bad World and things like this. And we found ourselves in a situation where we kind of ran out of material a little bit, really, for a while, because we were just constantly in and out of studios. We were doing a lot of gigs. We were opening for bands at the Marquee Club. Record labels were coming to see us play and all the rest of it. And I remember there was a little flurry of activity where we started working on new material, one of which was 90 in the Shade. And I think there's something so bright and powerful about that song, maybe not so much in the recording, but certainly in the way that we felt about ourselves. We felt bright and kind of happy about what was going on, and it was pre-record deal, and so everything that was happening to us was really sort of on a day-to-day basis, something exciting, something new. You get a new phone call saying you're going to go and play this, or you're opening for that band, or so-and-so record label wants to put you in the studio, or a producer wants to meet you, that sort of thing. It was kind of really, really exciting and really inspiring. So I remember the song coming along pretty quickly. We were rehearsing we used to rehearse in a hotel in Scarborough. I can't even remember the name of the place now. And there was a chap there, a Scottish guy that ran it, and he loved us being there. And we used to rehearse in this room upstairs in the hotel. I remember we worked on it there. I seem to remember we worked on it in a rehearsal in the Stephen Joseph Theatre in Around as well, because we rehearsed there sometimes. And I remember just being dead excited by the sound of it. It felt bright, like I say, and fun. And the lyrics, they're not my best moment, but I've included them in the book because they were the start of that, I guess, that journey I eventually went on, the very start of the journey, to understanding myself and understanding what I wanted to talk about. Now, it's a very puerile, simple idea. There's quite a bit of innuendo in there, I guess. But really, it was more about the kind of feeling of the song that I think mattered. And when we came to record it with Jimbo Barton, it was our first single, it then flipped again because it was a really difficult recording process, and we had to sadly say goodbye to our drummer Dave Hopper, who had a pretty difficult experience in the studio, I think. And it was our awakening. That song was like the bridge from what we were to what we were going to become, because it was our awakening to the pressures and the difficulties of being in a band on a major record label, because it was no longer just fun to be there. We had work to do, and we had to step up. And I remember the sessions surrounding recording 90 in the Shade, which became our very first single with Polydor, were fraught with difficulty and took a long time to do, and we spent a lot of money recording one, maybe two songs. I think we had a B-side as well, but it was a really, really steep learning curve. And so when I think about that song, even though I think now it's become quite a fan favourite, I remember it in a kind of double-edged sword as the kind of, like I say, as a sort of the sort of flush of excitement before we got the deal, and then when we got the record deal, the kind of, oh my God, this is really happening type feeling. So it represents a real sort of moment in the band's career. But I've included it for those reasons. I think it's really important from a historical point of view.